Hello there. It's been a while since, there's the camera. It's been a while since my last video. Just playing some guitar a moment ago, and I thought, why not fire up the old tuber. That's my phone, by the way. So I was thinking, just occurred to me now, like normally I like to make these videos about political topics or spiritual topics. And I like to make videos about politics because it's important, I think, to be part of the discussion in at least some small way, considering it's, what dictates our lived experience and our communal reality. So I at least have to do my minimal contribution, which this video will be part of that. I don't have a Facebook or a Twitter anymore. I haven't yet been able to delete my Instagram because it's actually pretty much all positive. It's just art, graffiti and psychedelic art and psychedelic things in general, Terrence McKenna memes and stuff like that. It hasn't been a source of negativity, and I don't sink a lot of time into it. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's owned by Facebook, and I don't support Facebook as a company. I probably will eventually get rid of my Instagram, but as of yet I have not. But that's beside the point. So I was thinking, politically, I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention since Biden's been put in there. I find it depressing, honestly, to to see what he's doing. But I have been paying at least attention, somewhat, we'll say. I've been hearing this and that, and a bit about his activities and things. None of it's good. None of what I've heard is good. I most recently heard that he has launched some missiles in Syria or something like that. And I guarantee you in this case, many of the leftists who decried Trump's airstrike in Syria against an air base or something like that are waving for lack of a better term, the flags of support, or just showing their support for Biden and his maneuvering, his foreign policy. Now that's of course a cliche and a stereotype, and I'm sure there are many on the left who decried Trump and are now decrying as well Biden in his similar activity. Although I haven't looked into the specific nature of this new thing from Biden and his administration with the strike over there, and I don't know how similar it is to Trump's action, which I know was very minimal in its effect at that time. But that whole thing up till now is a digression, because what I was thinking as the point of this video to be is actually a kind of optimistic, a pretty kind of optimistic view of how things can develop going forward. So, I mean, let's first of all say that populism as a concept shouldn't be, by anyone who is among the masses, mostly everybody, shouldn't be opposed, because it's, by definition, serves the masses. It is by the people, for the people, in the most literal sense. And so the only thing that the left had wrong with populism was that it was right-wing populism, or more particularly for the past 4 years, until recently, Trump's nationalism, Trumpism even, you could say. But, I mean, left populism and right populism are both a thing. It's just simply that right-wing populism has been much more on the radar in recent years. However, its popularity has had some speculating that left-wing populism will rise in tandem organically, simply because it has to, because it needs to, copy what works and discard what doesn't, in terms of, competing in the political arena. So anyway, the left and the right sort of flavors of populism can be brought together in a single recipe once the true nature of the struggle is sort of understood by both sides, which is that this is the elites versus the low versus the masses. This isn't left-wing versus right-wing. In fact, I would suggest that the left-wing versus right-wing dichotomy that's constantly harped on by the media, you even have your left-wing media and your right-wing media. You don't have an objective media. You have, straightforwardly biased institutions, and they call each other out, but they, claim to be objective themselves, which is total bullshit. So if people on the left and the right can identify the true nature of the problem, which is bipartisan, it's on the left and the right. So the parties maybe have to be usurped from within by people with, unifying agendas on both sides in a sort of populist kind of revolution. Now, revolution doesn't have to be a violent revolution. It could be, a spiritual revolution or an ideological revolution. But in terms of avoiding any kind of violent revolution, usurping the system from within with a unified agenda on both sides of the spectrums, have conservative populists and the liberal populists who aren't politically established but would be fresh blood, have them go in and infiltrate the parties with one cause in mind, which is to lift up and celebrate the people of this country instead of some foreign national business elite that is faceless and nameless, and is at this time who our politicians serve in reality. And it's only in rhetoric that they serve us in any way. So as people get sick of Biden, because I know that it's very few, it's cult-like, partisanly obsessed individuals who support Biden directly. Most people on the left, if they support Biden at all, it's indirectly through their opposition to the right, or whatever their opposition is in their formulation. But anyway, as Biden blunders and continues to warmonger, as we all know that he will, it will put a sour taste in the mouths of the left, especially the populist left or the radical left, or anybody who is disillusioned with the establishment in general, or sees clearly the nature of the problem that I laid out earlier in this video. So my optimism is that as the rose-colored glasses fade back to clear, or however that would be best phrased, as they turn clear again, as the Trump derangement syndrome leaves them, it will be a good opportunity for a more unifying path forward, and an acknowledgement, maybe you could say a red pilling of individuals to see why we shouldn't be so caught up fighting each other in terms of left-right, and more concerned with the fact that is a distraction, maybe even a fatal distraction if it continues, from solving or putting forth any solutions to the true problem. I'll end it there. I got more to myself than I even anticipated from that small idea, but I think this has been succinct. I think the point has been made. Let me know if you have any thoughts about that in the comments, and may this video be the first of many. I'm in my new space, as you can see. Let's see. And yeah, so try to keep the energy going in this new space. Got my back. I'll just leave it there. All right. God bless you.